Hi everyone, it's Todd Nauck, and I'm back with a brand new video here. I'm doing a Batman head sketch on a 3x3 blue post-it note. If you've been following me on my social networks, you will probably have seen a lot of my post-it notes. I pretty much do them daily now. I've done well over 100 of these, and this is one I did, I think it was sometime around December-ish. Shot video of this one, and finally have had time to edit the video, and now I'm recording a commentary to get this posted and up on my channel. So thank you so much for your patience. I'm hoping to try to get these coming out more regularly, but my work deadlines really do take precedence. Easy for me to say. So here we go. Roughing in the Batman's face here with the blue on the blue post-it note with my mechanical pencil and that I got at jetpens.com. And let's see. Going with a blue post-it note is really going to be kind of fun. With the darkness of the blue color of the paper really affects how the colors show up on there and kind of gives it a darker look. So essentially the color of the paper is the lighting of the scene, is the way I approach it, and it makes me think in different ways when I approach the colors of the illustration. So right now, I'm still just, the main focus here is getting in just the structure of the head the way I like, the bat ears in the right place, the eyes, the brow, the nose of the cow. It can be kind of challenging trying to get that nose just right. But I look at the classic artists that have done it in the past and see how they did it, and then try to do my own take, do my approach to those shapes through my style. So let's see. While I talk about some of the aspects of the drawing, I'm also going to be, like I said, answering the questions y'all have posted either on my Art of Todd Nauck Facebook page, or on my Instagram, or on my Twitter. Links to all those social networks are down below in the description, so feel free to follow me on any of those social networks if you happen to be on those same social networks. You can see more of my art in between each video, and also post questions or interact with me. So let's see what. Let's see. We've already moved into the inking stage here, and I'm using my Pigma Micron pens. I've discovered some new tools that I'll be using here for future videos. But right now, the next batch of videos will be mostly my Pigma Microns and my Pentel Pocket Brush Pen, as I've been using in the past. Those are still some of my favorites. They're tried and true and really work well for me because I've spent so much time practicing with them. I feel fairly confident with them. So let's see, just getting the lines in, much like I have in all my other videos. It's pretty much the same process. Keep going for it, keep doing what you know, and then try to learn new things on top of that. It helps you grow as an artist. So let's see what we have here on the questions list that I've collected from you guys so far. Let's see, over on Instagram, Matthew Pegram27 asks, what got you started to draw? Let's see, what got me started in drawing was just pretty much it's something that's been there all my life. Earliest memories are of drawing, age 3, sitting at the kitchen table, scribbling in a circle, going hamburger, hamburger, hamburger. I was either drawing a picture of a hamburger or putting in my lunch order. That's one of my earliest memories. Another one is sitting on the couch with my mom, and she had a green marker and was drawing pictures of stickmen, actually in a children's book. A children's book I still have. It's on my bookshelf. It's called The Diddle Daddle Duckling, filled with my scribbles and the pictures of the little stickmen my mom drew. And that was just so interesting to my little 3-year-old mind, is seeing these figures come to life from my mom's hand. And I think those are two aspects that really kind of got me started on drawing and a love for drawing. It's also something that kind of runs in my family to a degree. Most all of us in my immediate family are artistically inclined to one degree or another. So it's part of it's a family thing, and then it's just, I think, just a God-given passion. I just love to draw. I draw every day, and I hope to continue to draw for the rest of my life. It's just something that I find to be a lot of fun, and is a very important thing to remember, is to have fun when you're drawing. I can't stress that enough in my videos, is to have fun even when it's frustrating or challenging. Keep having fun, because that's why we draw. Let's see if we got another question. Thanks for your question. What was that? Matthew Pegram27 over on Instagram. And also from Instagram, Obscure Graphics asks, do you have a particular set of settings you consider ideal for scanning traditional artwork into a digital format, aside from 300 DPI or 300 dots per inch? Let's see. A lot of my scans I do at 300 DPI. That's an adequate setting for scanned artwork that would need to go to print. But nowadays, a lot of the stuff I do, especially my work for Marvel Comics, I'm scanning that original art in as a black and white bitmap at 600 DPI. I've done projects where clients have asked for higher, like 800 or 1200 DPI, but right now it seems like 600 is the format that they're looking for when you scan in that traditional hand-drawn on artboard sort of artwork for their printing and digital purposes. So hope that answers your question, Obscure Graphics. Let's see what else we have. Over on the Art of Todd Nauck Facebook fan page, Lee Conrad asks, what is the most challenging thing for you to draw? Let's see. Man, being a comic book artist, you have to pretty much draw everything that exists in the world, plus whatever you can imagine. So, sometimes the writer will write in something that's not as much fun for me to draw, and that would probably be cows. Not a big fan of drawing cows or cloven-hooved animals. I'll look up pictures online for reference, but I can't turn a picture of a cow around in my head like I can a person. Kind of the same goes for vehicles as well. My trick around that is now I will go to either a toy store or a craft store and purchase toy cows, toy animals of whatever I need. And it's got to be a good sculpt too. I mean, I need an accurate sculpt so I can make it look as lifelike as possible through my style in the comics. So that's what I did. I went to Michael's when I had to draw that cow for Invincible Universe and bought a PVC figurine of a cow. And now it sits on the top of my shelf at my art desk with a Blue Beetle action figure riding on top of it because my wife decided it would be funny to see Blue Beetle riding a cow, and it was pretty funny, and I actually posted a photo of that on my Instagram feed, so that's way back there, about a year's worth of photos back. But yeah, so that's some of the things I consider challenging to draw is animals of certain sorts, and it takes a little more practice than drawing just people, which is what I really enjoy drawing the most. But like I said, in comics, you have to draw whatever the story calls for, so you rise to that challenge and find the tricks you need to do to make that work. And if that's buying a vehicle or a toy cow or using Google SketchUp or whatever it is, you use what you need to make the magic happen. Thanks for the question, Lee. Let's see if we have another question here. Let's see, also from the Art of Todd Nauck Facebook fan page, Adrian Aguilar, hopefully I said that right, Adrian Aguilar, asks, what cartoons have you enjoyed and still watch? Well, pretty much I grew up in the 80s, so G.I. Joe, the original Transformers, things like that, that's my jam. Big fan of the show Mask. I liked watching Voltron whenever I could get a chance to get to my cousin's house to watch that, because out in the tiny country town I grew up in, we didn't get the channel that showed Voltron. But, enjoying cartoons up through the 90s. Probably one that I enjoy the most, I would say, is King of the Hill. King of the Hill because I'm a native Texan, and watching that cartoon is more like a documentary for me. So those are just some of the cartoons that I enjoy. Thanks for the question, Adrian. And let's see, continuing with the Facebook fan page questions, Matthew O'Ryan McCullough asks, what was the comic series that got you to want to draw? Let's see, I started collecting comic books when I was in 8th grade. So I was 13 years old, and I found a 3-pack of Secret Wars comics, the original Secret Wars from the 1980s. Found a 3-pack of those, issues 7, 8, and 9. And that got me collecting comics. And so I'd say those 3 comics, my first 3 of my collection, are what got me into it and inspired me. And the artist was Mike Zeck, who drew that series. And then from there, I got into Uncanny X-Men, and that really, really got me excited about comics. And I was hooked. And by a year later, a buddy of mine in high school asked if I'd ever drawn a comic book. I'd never thought to do that. So that day when I got home from school, took some printer paper, folded it in half, wrote and drew an 8-page comic in one night. It was so much fun to do. I knew that night that's what I wanted to do for the rest of my life, and I'd have to teach myself on how to do that. So yeah, I'd say Secret Wars. That's my answer there, Matthew. Thanks for the question. And let's see, now we've gotten into the color portion of this video. I like to approach my colors the same way I would if I was coloring on white paper. So I'm going to use the same shades of flesh tones that I would use. Even though I'm coloring on blue and it's darker, and the color might not show up as vibrantly, but that's okay because I want that lighting and that kind of moodiness to come through. Now I might use a slightly darker shade of that flesh tone that I might not use as much on the white paper to kind of give it a little more punch, a little more lift off the page. But those are decisions I make kind of as I go, and I see how the color dries. And you probably see it here on the video. Like when I first am applying that color, it looks a bit darker and almost looks like a darker shade of the blue. But then as the ink dries, that kind of dark wetness of the blue kind of disappears, and you see the color kind of take its place on the paper. So these are just kind of things I kind of. So some of the stuff I figure out on the fly. It's that trial and error. I often encourage young artists to not be afraid of trial and error. It's okay to make mistakes. Put your pen down on the paper, give it a shot, and if it doesn't work out, it's okay. It's a learning experience. You keep that in mind as you move into your next illustration. So that's kind of what I've done here with my Post-it notes and coloring on colored paper. Sometimes it works for me, sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes you just kind of find a way to make it work. And not worry too much about it. Perfectionism is pretty much a standard aspect of a lot of artists, myself included. The more I've learned to not be such a perfectionist, now I still want to do quality professional work. I mean, that kind of aspect of perfectionism is still with me because I want to do good looking work, but beating myself up for any slight little mistake or anything that I feel I fell short on, that's toxic thinking and kills the fun. So I'm learning to not let those messages take hold there. So trial and error is okay because you never know what you're going to discover. You don't know what kind of techniques will develop, and that's why I try different types of illustrations on different types of mediums, whether they be cardboard or Post-it notes or just my regular Bristol board, but using different tools, doing different things. Doing watercolor again. It just is different ways of applying lines and blocks of color to a page, and what are you going to learn? How's that going to change the way you think? And that's where your evolution and your style will come from, is trying new things and changing the way you think. You're going to learn and master new things, but it's okay for trial and error, to make mistakes, learn from them, and move on. That's the difference. The people that learn from their mistakes head towards mastery. The people that get stopped by their mistakes stay plateaued at the same level of art because they're not willing to deal with the mistakes or accept their mistakes and learn from them. And it's just like, and I think it's a message of perfectionism. It's hard to break. I know, I've been there. I'm still there in different ways. But we're all human, and we just keep going. Keep on drawing. I can't stress that enough to any artist. And I'm imagining most of y'all watching these videos are young artists, and run into these same things. We all share a lot of the same aspects. It's just I'm further down the road than some of you guys, so that's why I like to share my aspects or my experiences in this journey to hopefully encourage you guys and kind of be the signpost pointing in this direction. Keep going, keep going, keep going. So let's see. Coming in with the white Jelly Roll pen, which I think is a lot of fun to use on these Post-it notes because it just gives the illustration pop. Putting the white in the eyes, whether they're the pupilless mask eyes here of like Spider-Man or Batman, or just a person's regular eyes, and the whites of their eyes or their teeth, things like that, is a lot of fun to bring in this white gel pen to apply the white there and give it that pop. I also use white pencil sometimes, and hopefully I'll have some videos coming up where I use the white pencil for a more subtle kind of white shading. But these are fairly inexpensive. These Jelly Roll white pens, I think they're like $1 or $2 on jetpens.com as well. So let's see. I guess we're getting close to the end of this, so I think I've run out of time to do any more questions. But I appreciate everyone who's posted questions. Sometimes I'll ask for them before I record a commentary, so stay tuned to my social networks. Like I said, they're all listed below. Follow me on all of them. If you're on all of them, follow me on all of them. Why not? If not, follow me on whichever ones that you are on. And I also often run giveaways on Twitter and on Instagram. If I'm at a convention, I have sketch retweet contests, so make sure that you tune into those. And I also have rules and guidelines for those giveaways on my website, toddnauck.com. Appreciate y'all tuning in. I'm really excited to get another video up, and I hope to have more videos up. I have another Post-it note video coming up real soon, and stay tuned. We'll try to keep these up more regularly. Thanks a lot, guys.